She runs everything. She does stuff, doesn't tell. We got a new roof, and I did not know that. A whole new roof. I found out from my neighbors. They were like, how's that new roof going? I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, you didn't know you got a new roof? I go, no, I did not. And then I had to go get her. You gotta go talk to them about that new roof you didn't tell me about. I look like an idiot out there.
I remember I would fall out of a bunk bed. I slept in a bunk bed. I was on the bunk, and I would get over a railing and just fall 6 feet to the ground and just land. I mean, you don't catch yourself. It's just whatever hits first. All your body weight just lands on your head. I got a full-blown concussion. I'm crying. My parents are like, just go back to a deep sleep for 7 hours. I've had concussions in my life, and none of them because of sports. Just living life, man, you know? Stuff happens to your head. What are you gonna do? One was in high school. I got pushed into a wall head first. It took them 3 class periods to figure out I had a concussion. That's how much I was bringing to the table. I mean, 2 teachers didn't even notice, and the third one was like, he wasn't forward, and that's when I realized he's one of the better facer forwards I've ever had. So I knew. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down. I grew up in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and we used to climb down this cliff into Old Hickory Lake, and we'd done it a ton of times. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. They were fishing in a boat down in the lake, and so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, why didn't he just use these stairs? I mean, they were right next to that cliff. Like, it didn't even make sense. There was 2 guys at the bottom of the steps, and he goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up, and my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. So we have never known who was in the boat or the guys that carried me up those stairs. We've never known who it was. And we always wanted to thank them. I mean, those guys truly saved my life. And we could just never find out who it was. So we've never known. So I tell you that to tell you, last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. So he's doing a show in a prison. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, I know your son, which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people. So my dad, he goes, hey, he's like, all right. He goes, how do you know my son? And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I mean, I promise, I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And it was him and his brother. And then his brother saw me on the Tonight Show and was like, that's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day. So pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows. I bring him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Look, he would love to be here, trust me. I mean, yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But there's one day I'll get him. I did find out why he was in prison, which was crazy. It was that same day. They just carried a body down those stairs. And you can imagine the frustration to then be handed another body. And you're like, dude, are you serious right now? Like, we just did this, man, you know? All right, that part I made up. But the rest of it's true.
We went to Europe last year. And by the way, we were flying from Nashville to London, and it was 4:42 p.m. Nashville time. So as a family, I said, let's guess what time it is in London. So I said 12:42 a.m. Our daughter said 1:42 a.m. My wife, her guess was 11, and that's it. Yeah, she didn't say the 42. And I was like, just say the 42. And she goes, you know what I mean. I go, I know, but just Show her daughter you know what a normal person would say. That started a pretty big fight. I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know? I used so much ketchup once at a restaurant that a stranger walked up and goes, "That's a lot of ketchup." Do you know how much ketchup you gotta use? That guy doesn't want to get involved, you know? But he sees it. His wife's like, "Let it go." He's like, "I think I gotta say something. I don't think he knows that no one's using that much ketchup. We got very lucky.
I'm a big chain guy. I go to a lot of chain things. I just like to go to businesses that are doing good everywhere. I'm a big McDonald's fan. I go there quite a bit, and I take my friends, and every time I go in there, they're like, "I haven't been here in forever." It's like, don't act like I'm the one keeping them afloat, all right? They're doing real good. So I went in with a buddy of mine, another comedian named Louis J. Gomez. And me and Louis, we go in, we ordered our food at McDonald's, and we sit down at our table. And then Louis went to the bathroom. He left me alone with his food. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a prank on him. So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite of it, and I wrapped it back up and put it back on his tray. That's my big prank, right? Like when he comes back from the bathroom, I'll be like, "Dude, did they just eat your burger?" That's crazy that they're doing that, right? Is that crazy? It's a dumb prank. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. All that should happen is Louis should come, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend who's sitting with him, who also, by the way, dabbles in comedy. And just be like, "Hey, I just want to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's." That's what I thought would go down. Just a little, "Hey, did you touch my food the only time it's out of my sight? I just want to know before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting." But instead, I got to learn I'm friends with a lunatic and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and could not have ignored me quicker. He looked at them so fast, almost like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this. I will fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger." And he gets up, and he starts walking towards them. I can't believe it's working. We have gotten so much farther than I'm prepared to get. So I just grabbed him. I go, "Dude, I ate it. Like, why would you not look at me once to see if I did this?" And I get him to sit down, and it's weird. Like, everybody's looking at us. It takes 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And it hits me. I'll just sit there. I was like, "You're gonna get killed one day, man." I was like, "Let's pretend I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. You're just gonna go blindly fight him. Not even try to size him up, see what he looks like. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself, that he's making burgers, he's then eating them, and then he's wrapping them up and just sending them out to whoever? You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I think you're gonna walk to the McDonald's counter and be like, "Who ate my burger?" And all the McDonald's employees are gonna part ways. They know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back, you see a guy cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer. Doesn't even know it. Just warming his hands up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for letting me come out, honestly. I appreciate it. Like, she asked me recently if I would take a bullet for her.
And yeah, like for one, first of all, she runs with a pretty rough crowd, so it's probably going to happen. So I had to think about it, and I told her yes. But honestly, the only reason I said yes was because, all right, I don't know how fast a bullet is, exactly, but it's pretty fast, right? You don't hear a gun go off, and you're like, oh, I should get over there and get in front of that, right? So all I gotta do is stand there, she'll get shot, right? So she'll go down. I just gotta dive immediately after she goes down. So she goes, I go. I'll be like, did I get it? I'll feel around. I know her. She's gonna be pissed at me about it. And she's gonna be like, no, you didn't get it, you get nothing. I'll be like, oh, great, we're in a fight now. All right, well, maybe that wasn't reasonable to ask me to do. Did you ever think of that? It's a bit unrealistic, all right? How fast do you think I am? If you want to ask a realistic question of someone to protect you, you should be like, hey, would you take a sword for me? That's much more realistic. You're going to see a sword. If you ever get stabbed by a sword, you knew you were near a sword for at least half an hour. No one pulls a sword out. You're like, I didn't know you had that sword. No, everybody knew, all right? Sword people were the worst. And if you're thinking about getting married, here's what I think marriage is like. Marriage is you ever go to a concert and you see a mosh pit and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit at all. I'm going to leave and go get some beer. And then the mosh pit's like, well, didn't you drink last night? You're like, all right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back? I'm crying. I like to drink it up, too. I'm a big fan. My wife's actually mad at me right now because I went out drinking a few nights ago, and I stayed out crazy late. So I'm going to read. I have a sequence of text. I'm going to read, just see if we can figure out where she got mad. The first text, my wife was at work at 3:03 p.m. She texted, are you awake? 3:10 p.m. I texted, just got done jogging. I did not. 3:12 p.m. she texted, jog to the kitchen and do the dishes. She's funny. 7:04 p.m. I texted, I gotta go do comedy. 7:08 p.m. she texted, have good shows, I love you. So there's no fight right there. That's sweet and fun. Now, I think she got mad somewhere over the next 11 hours. Because I did not resurface until 6:16 a.m. I texted, I on my house. 6:17 a.m. she texted, are you drunk? 6:19 a.m. I texted, you're drunk. That's good. 6:22 a.m. she texted, we need to talk in the morning. 6:24 a.m. I texted, it is morning. 6:27 a.m. she texted, sleep on the couch. I was like, oh boy. That's when I knew I was in trouble, guys. But we've been together a long time. I know how to fix all this stuff. So the last text I sent, 6:31 a.m., I texted, whatever, dude. All right, thank you. Europe last year. Europe's very old.